My grounded fam, it's your boy Gio. About to start working on the chaser. Today gonna be putting on the struts for the air suspension. Just getting that process started. Since I'm gonna be doing the brakes and all that, might as well go ahead and get the struts put on. And then at a later point, I'm gonna run the airlines and the electrical for the management and all that. So just trying to get ahead of the game and get everything taken care of right now. More to come in the future, but stay tuned for the quick little video. All right, so as you know, the first thing you have to do is take the wheels off and whatnot in order to access the strut. So I'm gonna take the wheels off, and the plan is to take those off, then take the bottom off from the strut, the coilover, and then take the top off. And it should come off pretty easy, but I don't know. I haven't messed with the suspension on this car at all. I don't even know what brand coilovers these are. I did at one point, but I don't remember. So we're gonna dive into it. I just want to say a big shout out to Air Demand hooking me up with these airbags. Talked to them for a while when I'm back and forth. It being out here in Hawaii, shipping is always crazy. So we had to figure out shipping and all that stuff, but everything worked out. Got the struts in. These are them. I'll show you guys real quick. You have it. It's solid, looks good, everything feels good. Air Demand. They're basically the sister company of Force Suspension, I believe. It's the adjustable dampening and all that stuff. So, very happy with the product. Go ahead and install it on the car, and then run the airlines and all that stuff at a later point. Has the adjustable collars and all that stuff. You can loosen and tighten the collars. Got the bag right here. Good, strong. Same, feels just like my Air Force suspension one. All that good stuff. Got all the hardware, the knobs for the dampening adjustment. They got the I guess the tools just to loosen and tighten the collars. Got the lines that go in so that I can put the steel braided lines that I got with them. So they hooked me up with some steel braided lines also for the fronts. So super pleased, great product. I'll put all the information in the description and all that stuff, and tag their Instagram also. Hit up who I hit up, tell them I sent you, and get you set for your car. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is pin the bottom of the strut, or the bolt that's holding the bottom of the strut to the knuckle. So in order to do that, you're gonna need a 17mm socket on a ratchet, and then I'm gonna use my impact gun or impact driver, or whatever you want to call it, to remove the bolt. What the hell I do with it? Is it on there still? Yeah, it is. So we got the bottom bolt off, this right here, that taken off. Now we're gonna go up top and remove the that are holding these studs from the strut into the top of the tower. So there'll be 3 12mm, and then the strut should drop. Of course, we don't want it to drop, but get the point. I thought this didn't have dampening, but it might have dampening. Suspension just super stiff. Give me an extension. So now the key is to hold the top, or loosen the top and hold the bottom, so it doesn't when I loosen it. Got the third one out. Now you just figure out a way to get this to come out the way without damaging everything. I'm gonna go this way. There's some stuff. So this is the brand. This is the brand that was in it. It's Rush Damper Sedan Class. They look like they're in the worst condition. Definitely seen worse and rusted and all that stuff. So they actually look pretty decent. They look pretty good. This is the old one that was in the car. I went ahead and took this one out, and I adjusted it to match pretty much what the old one or the coilover was set to for right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Put the line, or put the adapter right here that goes right here for the lines, and then do the steel braided line to this one, and then I'll put this one onto the front. All right, so I got both of them pretty much matching on the length. I'm gonna go over here and some Teflon tape on the fittings that go into them, and then I'll connect the steel braided lines to these, and then install it to the vehicle. All right, so I got the strut hooked up with the line attached. I'm gonna put it in right now and then adjust whatever I need to adjust and then go from there. All right, so we get to a stopping point. Both fronts are on. Looks a lot better. Next up is the tank and the rear is first, then the tank and the airlines and the management and all that stuff. That's gonna be after. Just wanted to get the struts on for now. Day 2 of the airbag installation. I already installed the front, so today I'm gonna be starting the rears. First thing first, you gotta remove the seat, so I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. All right, so you just gotta pull up on the seat. You're gonna feel like in the middle of the cushion, right around here. I don't know if you can see it. In the middle, it's gonna be like, you can feel it is stuck. So you want to pull up right there and it should unclip like so. And then the seat comes out. Just remember to pull where you can feel there's tension. It clips into the seat. I'll show you guys in a second where it goes. I know my lighting sucks, but like I said, right here is where the chair clips in, the rear seat clips in. You can see the other one on the other side. So you just gotta pull up right here in the middle of the chair and it should come up, no problem. You're probably wondering why I'm removing the back seat, but it is so that I can later run the lines, the airlines and the electrical and all that stuff. Anyways, I need to pull the back seat out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now. And it probably makes it easier for me to get to where the tower, the rear tower for me to mount the airbags. So might as well just make it easier on myself and get it done. So I remove, it looks like four screws that hold the top or the back of the chair up or in. So just going to these off and then figure out how to get a chair out. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough for you guys to hear, but if not, I'm gonna just do a voiceover. Take on the other side. My first time taking off the seat, so this time I probably gonna just go ahead and make sure everything looks good. I'm gonna wipe up any junk, any gunk that I see back here. Maybe somebody spilled something. Wipe all of that up, make sure everything is good before I put it back all together. So make sure you're doing that when you're working on your cars. You're inspecting, see if you see anything that's broken that needs to be repaired, anything that's maybe overly rusted. You want to address that stuff while you're doing that. It's fancy Milwaukee ratchet, and I don't use it that much because I don't be remembering to use it. So I just got clear the seatbelt and all that. So I come like so, and it goes up and out. And go on the other side and do the same thing. Right, so as you can see, this is the fuel pump is for the car. Right here, that's where you access the fuel pump. Videos about it in the past. That's what you do. So same thing, the rear has 1, 2, 3 hooks, the same thing like the front. The front has 2, the rear has 3. So just make sure, lift up to clear these hooks and then everything should be good. Everything else look good to me. Major issues. I can see the top of the strut towers right here, so I could access these screws or these butts to drop the coilovers, and I can install the bags. Okay, so that's one. This right here. So the way this goes in is it slides into these grooves, these notches. So it slides in and then it clips down. So what I'm doing right now is loosen it in the back one, the hardest one to get out. And then I can worry about the rest later, the other two later when I take off the bottom. Go to the gym so I can hurry this up to get one of them at least. Do the other one maybe when I get back if I feel like it, or for sure tomorrow. Right. So the bottom of it goes right here. I'm assuming it's the same thing, 17 mil. So this is what it looks like right now. I used the jack just to mimic the weight of the car on the ground and pretty much chuck in. This is a 17-inch wheel and it's lip to fender basically. I think I could go a little bit more, but I didn't want to go anymore. I'll just do the other side tomorrow probably, and then I'll lower it back down on the ground and see where it sits from that point on. So again, the first thing you want to do is take off your tire or your wheel, and you're gonna have to 3 nuts at the top for the coilover, and then you're gonna have the one at the bottom. You wanna make sure that you take out, I'll probably do the bottom one first, and then just go inside the car and do the top one. Should be fairly simple. So I just took the bolt off on the bottom of the coilover. This is it right here. It's 19 mil. So I just use the impact on one side, and then I use my crescent wrench on the other, and then just take it out. So now I'm moving on to the inside of the car. So as you can see, it's 3 nuts up here. Yep, I took the one in the back off already, and you have 2 up here. So you just send them, take it out, and then I already took the bolt out at the bottom. So next is just removing it. So I'm gonna take these 2 nuts out real quick and then remove it. So you can see the coilover is out. Brush is the brand. Next is the other bag actuated. The new adapter to it for you to hook up the airline, and then putting it in the car, putting it on the car. This is the adapter I'm talking about, or I don't know the proper term for it is, but this is what you're gonna put into the bag at the bottom of the bag in order to air it up. So just gonna go ahead and do that right now and then tighten it down. I use Teflon tape just to be safe and to make sure that there's no air leaks or anything like that once it's time. All right, so this is a 16, I thought it was a 12 millimeter, but it's not. We're not over tightening it or anything, just wait till it gets snug pretty much. Pretty much all I'm doing. Don't want to over tighten it and damage anything. So got that. I'm gonna put it so it's facing the back, because you don't want your airline to be in the front where the tires rotating and all that other stuff. So you want to make sure that's out the way, and then the shortest route possible, so you don't have excess line and all that stuff up there. So that's the way I do it. I'm gonna put it on the back so that everything's safe back there. Next, I'm gonna measure it up to the old one just to make sure that they're the same length, and then I'm gonna put it on the car. I went ahead and I put them next to each other just to see how long everything was. The bag is actually maxed out right now, so that's the lowest that I can get the bottom to come up, the body of it to come up, and it's fairly close. It's about the same. So once the bag compresses, you gotta figure it's probably gonna work right around where I need it to be. Hopefully, that's the goal. If not, the fact that I'm going with a bigger wheel than what's on there right now should balance itself out and offset each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the car right now. So I forgot to record this part, but all I did was put it in. In order to get it in there, I had to go through the upper arm right here, angle, kind of like this, and then I push down. I actually use my foot to step down on the hub in order to get it to drop enough so I can come in at an angle and clear the fender. Otherwise, it won't clear the fender. I ran into that issue yesterday, so I figured it out. So all you'd have to do is just come to that angle, push down on the hub, and then you'll get it to clear the fender. So now I gotta just fish it up top, get it in there, top in the strut tower in the rear, and then the nuts on it, and start to tighten it down. All right, so got that in. There's a jack to get it up there. Now I'm just gonna put this collar on, or whatever you wanna call it. You catch all of them? Yeah. Right. So it's on there. It's black collar, and then put the top of the tower in here and put the nuts on. So I'm gonna cut it right now, and I'll show you guys after.